Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited. Helicopter pilot in Tanzania dies of gunshot wounds. Senators oppose ATC privatization. Boeing to build new Air Force One aircraft. I'm Bree Cross. It's February 2nd, 2016, and this is Airborne Unlimited. Last Friday, a helicopter pilot in Tanzania was struck by ground fire. He managed to safely land his helicopter but succumbed to his wounds. 3 suspected elephant poachers have been arrested in connection with the shooting of the British pilot. The UK newspaper, The Mirror, relays a report from the French news service, AFP, that the 3 were being held in Tanzania by police Sunday. The pilot, Richard Gower, was helping Tanzanian authorities track the poachers when they fired on his aircraft. He landed the helicopter near Serengeti National Park. In a message posted on the website of the Texas-based Friedkin Conservation Fund, Chairman Dan Friedkin said in part, quote, "Roger was killed while piloting a helicopter during a coordinated effort with the Tanzanian wildlife authorities to track down and arrest active elephant poachers. In the course of this action, the poachers fired upon the helicopter and Roger was fatally wounded. This tragic event again highlights the appalling risk and cost of protecting Tanzania's wildlife." 4 U.S. senators on the House Appropriations Committee have written a letter to the House Transportation Committee that is set to begin consideration of an FAA reauthorization bill, which many think will include a plan to strip air traffic control from the FAA. The senators say in the letter that they strongly disagree with the suggestion that ATC should be stripped from the FAA and put in the hands of a private entity, according to a report from Politico. The letter states in part, quote, "These proposals have 2 fundamental problems. They break apart the FAA and they diminish the ability of Congress to oversee the aviation system. The annual appropriations process provides the oversight of agency resources that is necessary to ensure accountability for program performance and a sustained focus on aviation safety." After the break, Boeing 747-8 to be converted to Air Force One configuration.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, our website or podcast, just email to news-spy@aero-news.net. The Pentagon has announced that Boeing has been granted a contract to build a new fleet of Air Force One airplanes based on its new 747-8 platform. The announcement came in the Pentagon's daily digest of military contract awards. Reuters reports that the Air Force first announced that the 747-8 would be the platform for new Air Force One airplanes back in January of last year. They will replace 2 VC-25 airplanes, which are modified 747-200B aircraft that are nearing the end of their 30-year lifespan. The initial contract awards totaled $25.8 million. It's not surprising that Boeing was chosen for this contract, as they are the only builder of large 4-engine airliner aircraft in the United States. Every Tuesday, we look ahead at some of the more interesting events in the aviation industry. Here is this week's Aero-Calendar. The Tucson Radio Control Club is holding their TRCC What's Up Fly-In at the Tucson RC Club on February 6th. This is the 8th annual What's Up event, and it's for electric-powered model aircraft. A separate flying area is being made available for small multi-rotor drones. There will be some pretty amazing stuff there. Also on February 6th is the Buckeye Air Fair being held at the Buckeye Municipal Airport in Buckeye, Arizona. It's a day of free fun for the entire family. The air fair features historic vintage aircraft, police, fire, and RC plane demonstrations. There will also be a kids zone, a science festival, food vendors and rides, and local entertainment. On February 9th through the 12th, you'll find the 7th Annual International Flight School Operators Conference located in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. The Flight School Association of North America is presenting this conference, which is specifically geared to the flight training industry. Flight school owners, managers, chief flight instructors, and future school owners, along with industry experts, will come together at this conference. February 10th through the 12th marks the MBAA Business Aircraft Finance Registration and Legal Conference being held in Boca Raton, Florida. The agenda features speakers that are experts in aviation finance, aircraft utilization options, regulatory topics, tax planning, and risk management. The conference also provides strategies for evaluating aircraft registry options and managing complex international tax issues. After these messages, Super Bowl 50 TFR is announced.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. A temporary flight restriction has been issued for security purposes in the area of Super Bowl 50 for flights in or around the San Francisco Bay, Napa Valley, and or Monterey Peninsula metropolitan areas in early February, so be sure to check your NOTAMs. Apple has recently released iOS 9.2.1. ForeFlight has cleared its customers to upgrade, saying that the new version of the mobile operating system plays well with its app. They also said they're standing by in case problems do occur. Textron has attained new certifications, allowing each U.S. company-owned service center to support the Beechcraft, Cessna, and Hawker brands. All 14 Textron Aviation-operated service centers in North America have received expanded certifications in the past year. Under recently granted STC, Duncan Aviation has completed an industry-first controller-pilot data link communications future air navigation system 1A+ installation. The STC covers the Challenger 601, which integrates the current Challenger 601 original equipment manufacturer flight decks. The terrorist attacks in Paris and Egypt last year affected passenger bookings on both Flybe and EasyJet. Flybe CEO Sama Ahad said that the tragic events in Paris led directly to a significant hiatus in bookings in the fourth quarter of 2015. Well, that's the trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. It seems that Nathan Chan was doing business with an airline that uses the business axiom commonly associated with the FAA that says, "We're not happy unless you're unhappy." Writing on the classical music blog Slip Disc, Chan said he always purchases an extra seat for his instrument to prevent damage in a cargo hold. But when he arrived to check in for his flight from Vancouver to New York on WestJet, he was told the airline has a strict policy to not allow instruments to be transported in seats. He said he was given the choice of checking the cello or leaving it behind. An airline representative said that they have no way of securing the large instrument in a seat designed for a person. Chan left the instrument and spent $1,000 to have someone fly to New York with his cello on an airline that allows the instruments as cabin baggage. He says he has filed for a refund for his ticketed empty seat from American Airlines, which code shares with WestJet. Well, that's our program for today. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. Please join us and a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news from the staff of the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource.